Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yeshua B'Ashem Kadesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's of the chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Ezekiel, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp. And this is a Bible prophecy update. Alright. Right here from Reuters, we have Erdogan tells United Nations chief the state of Israel must be tried in international courts for Gaza crimes. So before I get into the article, I want to explain why it is a part of Bible prophecy and why Turkey is so important, and why is it that Turkey, like this kind of information, is important, right? The way Turkey is acting. And so we have to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, starting at verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech, and Tubal, and prophesy against him, which is talking about Russia. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, which is talking about Russia. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So they'll be going to war, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And they'll be having an alliance, right, with Persia, who today is known as Iran, who are the biblical Elamites. And the Elamites are not only the Iranians/Persians, but they are also the East Indians, those that reside in India, okay? Ethiopia and Libya with them, which are the so-called African nations, which are the biblical Hamites, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. And this in verse 6 is talking about Turkey. So Turkey is going to be joining Russia and her allies when they go to war. And who are they going to be going to war against? America and her allies, which America is the whore that rideth the beast, and that beast is NATO. All right, and the 10 horns is the European Union, which right now Turkey is a part of that alliance with America and Europe, right? But it says in the prophecy that they're going to be joining with Russia and her allies, which, by the way, China doesn't say it here explicitly, but when you can see what's going on with world relations, China is going to be alongside Russia and her allies. It says, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is going to be a guard unto her allies, right? But here we have Turkey, okay, is going to be making moves eventually. There's just going to be some things happening that will, make them side with the other side in their current case, right? As they are a part of NATO, okay? So Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan on Tuesday told United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres that Israel, the state of Israel, must be held accountable in international courts for what he called war crimes it committed in Gaza, the Turkish presidency said. And he has had his foot upon their neck, all right, for this entire situation. This isn't new information necessarily, but it is an update to it, because they have been against the state of Israel for what it's doing, which means that once it's against the state of Israel, it's against America, which is Mr. Babylon, right? In the precepts, it says the least of the flock, right? America's military is set up to protect the Israelis, the state of Israel. So it says, Jeremiah 50 and verse 45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purpose is that he had purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, talking about the Edomites, so-called white people. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right. So the least of the flock is talking about the Israelis, the state of Israel. All right. And they're going to draw America out. But the point is here as well that America is a defense for them. So America will always side with them. So if you are against the state of Israel in regards to world affairs, then you're against America. And if you're against America, you're against our allies as well. So what is happening to Turkey right now is that Turkey is becoming separated, as the prophecy says that it would, right? In a phone call ahead of a UN Security Council meeting on Gaza plan for Wednesday, Erdogan and Guterres discussed the expectations of the international community regarding the state of Israel's unlawful attacks. All right. Excess of humanitarian aid into the enclave and efforts, the Turkish, okay. During the call, Erdogan said the state of Israel continues to shamelessly trample on international law, the laws of war, and international humanitarian law by looking in the eyes of the international community, and it must be held accountable for the crimes it committed in front of international law. So Turkey wants to hold them responsible for what they're doing. Now, when you're in an alliance of sorts, right, especially with the way the Edomites work, this would be like a form of, I was going to say treason, which it could be looked at as that, but it's like, it's a very high level of dissension because they're supposed to be working as one unit. But here it is that you have one of your allies coming at you saying that you need to hold this, your number one ally really, and your number one ally talking about America's number one ally is the state of Israel and vice versa, right? It really is something that's not good, okay? Turkey has harshly criticized the state of Israel's attacks on Gaza and called for an immediate ceasefire to allow for discussions. Erdogan has called the state of Israeli attacks on Gaza a genocide and accused them of being a terror state. The state of Israel rejects such charges and say it is acting in self-defense against a foe bent on its destruction, which all of it is just, smoke and mirrors, right? But things will still happen as biblical prophecy states, whether it is done by way of, how do I put this? Intentional movements by the wicked elite of Esau Edom, or if it just happens, but it all has to come to pass regardless, right? Because the thing is, when it comes to all of this that's happening with what's going on with world affairs and all of these people in all these countries at the head and whatever else, the wicked elite of Esau Edom have their hand in it. It says that in Job chapter 9 and verse 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? So it is given unto them. Esau is in his blessing, right? So he has certain levels of control, right? And all of this that is happening right now is so that they can usher in their microchip, which is the mark of the beast, and so that they can usher in their NWO agenda. All right. They have certain steps that they're taking. Okay. Turkey also hosts some members of Hamas, which it does not consider a terrorist group, unlike the United States, European Union, and some Gulf countries. So it's already, there it is, point blank. It's against its own allies. It has accused the West, apart from Spain and Belgium, of complicity due to their support of Israel. So there it is, more dissension, right? So it's very clear to see. That's the end of the article. Yeah, man, that really shows you what's happening. It's an update, and, even America's own allies, eventually they're all going to turn against her, right? And I would imagine that it could be, and just say it could be, that when they see that America's losing, they turn against her. Or maybe something else transpires that forces them to turn on her. Regardless, they're going to turn on her. All right. Obadiah, verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy of thy alliance have brought thee, even to the border, the men that were at peace with thee. have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, they that eat thy bread, those that benefited off of your ways and what you've done, have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And this is what America's allies have been doing to her slowly but surely over time. It's not only Turkey, even though based on biblical prophecy in Ezekiel 38, Turkey is going to be making a swifter move away from America, right? But the rest of the allies, they too are going to be a part of it. And they've been doing things over the years. I can't recall everything because it's been, so many years. But I've watched the years as they have gone by and how America's allies have been moving. And they have slowly but surely been weakening her position on the world stage. All right. And eventually it's going to get to this point where it says in Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16, and the 10 horns, the European Union, which thou sawest upon the beast, NATO, thee shall hate the whore, America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh. So that eating her flesh is a part of making her weaker over time, right? As it says, when it says they have laid a wound under thee, right? Okay, so they've been weakening her and burn her with fire. So they're going to aid in the destruction of America because America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and that's all over in the scriptures, right? America is going to be destroyed by the ICBM missiles, and Russia and her allies, which includes Turkey, are going to be fighting against her, and they're going to send those missiles to America. And as it says in Revelation chapter 18, America shall be destroyed in 1 hour. And this right here is showing you that her allies too are going to turn against her and destroy her and burn her with fire. So everything is in due time and everything is in due season. But it's so great to see the buildup of biblical prophecy. If you really just even think about it, some people would see something like this and they'll be like, oh, it just looks like information being out there, same old, same old. But really, if you really think about it, this is like quite serious and quite amazing at the same time, because it's literally Bible prophecy building up, getting ready to manifest. So anyway, with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yeshai B'Shem Kah Kodesh. Shalom.